Hi, and welcome back to the Collegiate Cub. Now, I want to apologize first of all for the video and sound quality in yesterday's video. For whatever reason, YouTube's quick capture wasn't doing me very well, and it had my mouth moving about 4 seconds ahead of the words. But we'll try it again. I'm trying it one last time on quick capture before I go back and start using my camera like I did on the very first video. Now, first thing I want to talk about is something that I forgot about yesterday, and that is Kevin Foster. He pitched for the Cubs for a few years back in the mid-90s. He passed away to cancer, actually, this last Saturday, October 11th. So rest in peace, Kevin Foster. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and it's a big loss. He was only 39 years old, and that's never good when you see that. Now, I'm going to have some more information about Kevin Foster on the blog, thecollegiatecub.blogspot.com. The link is over there. I'm just going to have one of the couple pictures and some stats over his career, and so make sure you go and check that out. Now, in happier news, in the ALCS yesterday, of course, the Rays went out and did just what I said they would. They went out, they got an early lead, got a couple 3 runs in the first inning, I believe, and they ended up rolling to a huge victory. But they, like I said, Sonenstein pitched a pretty good game. He went into the 7th inning, 8th inning actually, 7th inning, and it was a solid start for him. The Red Sox are in a 3-1 hole now. Now, last year, of course, remember, they came back from a 3-1 hole to the Indians, but this is just not the same team as that came back last year. They got one last Manny Ramirez. Now, don't get me wrong, Jason Bay's a very solid baseball player, but he's not Manny Ramirez. By the same aspect, Euclid is good at third base, but he's not, Mike Lowell. Going from having Mike Lowell and, Kevin Euclid in the lineup to only one of them, that's always a downgrade. Now, plus, Big Papi, David Ortiz has not been hitting well. I think that this is a team that's dead in the water right now. I do think, though, this next game, Game 5 in the series, which will be tomorrow, Thursday, October 16th, I think that's probably their best chance to get a win out of the final couple games. They've went ahead, the Rays have, and pushed James Shields back in an attempt to get Scott Kazmir, their ace, in there and to wrap it up in 5, but really, Kazmir has the ability to be a little bit wild sometimes. He's a great pitcher, but he gets a little wild on occasion. You saw that in his start versus the Cubs. He only lasted 5 innings. He only gave up 1 run, but he threw a lot of pitches. Cubs did a real good job of being patient, and I think if the Red Sox can do that same thing, they'll probably put a few runs on the board. That said, Matt Suzaka also will have to go out and repeat his last performance, which in and of itself is fairly unlikely, in that in Matt Suzaka's 6 postseason appearances in his career, he's only won more than 5 1/3 innings once, and that was his last appearance. And that was in Game 1 of the series. Of course, he went 7 2/3 and didn't give up a run. He was great that game. He went deep in the count with a few too many guys, but he got out of it. He pitched a great game, but I don't know how likely he is to repeat that. I think the game, like every game, but more so this one, I think really comes down to pitching. If Matt Suzaka can come close to repeating that performance, and if Shields is any bit too wild, I think the Red Sox can take this one, and I'll stick with my prediction of the Rays in 6. Now, in the NLCS, for whatever reason, I thought that last night was going to be the final game, but as it turns out, they didn't play. They play tonight. So I still think that the Phillies are going to go ahead and kick the Dodgers out of the race tonight in Los Angeles. So that's my update for today. Please go ahead over to thecollegiatecub.blogspot.com so you can see those pictures of Kevin Foster and some information about him. And thanks, and I'll be back tomorrow.